Hello, Teresa Phelps Martin, bringing you a new offering called Move and Meditate with the Moon. I have bigger dreams than this, but this is a baby step, and a baby step to share with ways that you can learn and understand more of how to co-create with the cosmos and embody your soul's promise and know that you're supported along the way to bring your brilliance forward. AKA be real, be true, and be soulfully you. So this month, I am going to bring you something that will help you awaken to the energy that's coming alive for you. As you know, the moon, there's a new moon every month, every 28, 29 days, exactly, more or less, actually. And the moon is our natural satellite. It is like the Earth's best friend, and each of us are Earthlings. And the moon has a relationship with the sun, and it's really mysterious but ever changing, yet it actually holds great insight. And when you can welcome this insight in, you can discover so much more. So I will present to you what the moon is. You're going to look at a chart for this new moon, and it may overwhelm you, but I'm going to talk you through it and help you understand what this is all about. And then on top of that, I have soul scopes for you that I will present here. And finally, I have just a worksheet to help guide you this month. Yes, it's self-led. I can't lead you right now, but I'm here for you and I want to support you. And then, of course, if this is something you want to see more of and you want to do live with me, let me know, because I think we can get there. Let's start with a meditation, though. And so close your eyes, settle into your seat, let your hands fall into your lap or rest on your heart. Divine Mother and Father of the cosmos, Spirit of the highest light, we welcome your guidance, that you can reveal to us the pathway with clarity and grace and wisdom to illuminate the peaks and valleys and understanding of how to work with the starry heavens and co-create in our lives to move, meditate with the moon, and manifest more of our soul's promise. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you that you can bring in the highest good and the greatest joy to all those concerned. Allow your head to bow down, allow your palms to turn up, opening your eyes, looking into the palms of your own two hands, and returning. So this new moon is at 11 degrees Aries, April 1st, 2022. It is exact at 2:24 a.m. That means it's where the sun and the moon are at the exact same degree in the sky. This particular chart is for Louisville, Kentucky, and it is a whole sign system because that can be easier to look at and understand as we begin. So the sun and the moon are in Aries. Aries energy is the start of the astrological year. So this moon is initiating a whole new circle journey through the zodiac, because next month it'll be in Taurus, and then the moon will be in Gemini, and then the new moon will be in Cancer and Leo. And that is so amazing to me that every month with great precision, the sun and the moon meet up in the sky. And when we look to where they're meeting up in the sky, we gain so many insights into understanding how we can move and breathe and manifest in our lives. There are different phases of the moon. This is just concerning us with the new moon. And if it all comes together, I'll bring you a full moon video as well. So please be sure to let me know, communicate with me. Really works well via email or messenger. You can even text me if you have access to that. if you want to see more of this. So with that being said, oh, and if you're watching it on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, share. It's here for you. So anyhow, moving forward, when the moon is in Aries, we are invited to look at that part of our chart, okay? This chart for Louisville, we're looking at the 5th house. And that 5th house energy is, to me, where our divine spark resides, where our true self, what we create with, what we've come into the world to shine and celebrate. It's that love we hold of ourselves and to connect. So Aries energy, though, is this opportunity to have a greater understanding your sense of self, okay? And in that sense of self, I'm totally looking at my notes so I can stay on track. That kind of new start for yourself, that new beginning, that since Aries is the beginning of the chart, like this is the 1st house, it's usually associated with Aries. 2nd house is Taurus, 3rd house is Gemini. However, when you cast a chart, you'll see that the 1st house here is Sagittarius, with the rising sign is always in the 1st house. So the rising sign is Sagittarius. For those of us in Louisville, if you're not in Louisville, then you want to understand. So that's a lot of fire energy. Sagittarius is mutable or the dissolving fire, and Aries is the initiating or cardinal fire. When the sun moved into Aries, it was the first day of spring, right? And so we have that energy of spring, beauty, blossoming, renewal, resurrection. So now with those ideas, we also want to understand Aries rules the head and our eyes, our jaw, right? All of this here. And so if I was teaching a class, we might be doing something that helps us understand the awareness of our head. It's a great opportunity for those of you who know Anusara to think skull loop, right? The pulling back and pulling up, really gaining that awareness, maybe even standing on your head, Shavasana. And also understanding how we want to look at healing. Okay, so fire energy is masculine. And so I did hear one person share that this is a moon about healing the masculine, and I completely agree. This chance to initiate new ways that we relate with ourselves. I just got a text. And it's not turned off. And in that, how we relate to ourselves, for example, I'm not trying to be perfect right now. I'm just trying to offer and share because I do miss teaching, and this is a way I can teach. Okay, so with that Aries energy, I want you to think of who you are now, like who are you birthing into? This is where the chart, from here forward, the chart really helps us understand the overall tone of this moon. So when we see Aries energy, we will look to where everything in the sky is. This chart is busy because I didn't realize I had all the goddesses in here as well, the main goddesses of Ceres, who is that mother, that archetype of the mother, of Athena, that is the archetype of the determined and strategic daughter. We have here Juno, who is the dedicated wife or domestic goddess, if you will, because not all of us are wives. And then where is she? Vesta is the sister, the sacred sister, right? Mother, wife, daughter, sister. Yes. You could also think of friend, like soul sister. She is what keeps the spark. Vesta, I have been in a deep relationship with Vesta for the past 1.5 years. You can look up any of these things. You can Google the main goddess and asteroid. So I also have here Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. And I want to go here because you're going to see that Chiron sits next to the sun and the moon, and it's just ahead of it. So this is a 1 degree orb, which means it's conjunct. It means that this is a healing moon. So that's why you would hear the healing of the masculine. Because we're in the energy of Aries, that sense of self, how we identify. We want to look at how we're identifying with the ways we take action in our life, the way we initiate, the way we start, the way we cultivate our energy to go after what we want. To go after what we want, we look at Mars. Mars is the natural ruler of Aries, and Mars is here in Aquarius. And look at this. So here's Aquarius. We have Vesta, Mars, Saturn, Juno, and Venus, all in Aquarius. Saturn is the natural ruler of Aquarius. And so we see these two sitting side by side. I have so much I want to say and share. I'm trying to be precise, so bear with me. In that energy, we're going to look to the masculine, how we take charge in our lives. And as we take charge in our lives, we want to feel connected to the opportunity of being reborn on some level, of coming alive again. And we want to look also at Chiron, and Chiron is back at this point. It was retrograde and now it's direct. All the planets of this chart are direct. So this is really this permission to move forward. Interestingly enough, the next moon is in Taurus. It will be very close to Uranus, and Pluto will have gone retrograde. So this is really like, we're going to move forward. We're going to feel the action moving forward, and we're going to find our mind ready to go. Hello. I'll tell you right now, that's me. It's what I'm working with on a daily basis, not to get ahead of myself mentally. So because Chiron is here, Chiron has a lot of energy of healing wounds. So how can you use this moon to look at the healing you've done? Chiron was here at this point last June, July. So you can look at what came up last June, July. What have you worked on? What have you moved through? What have you allowed to heal? And how can you integrate into this new sense of yourself? How beautiful is that, right? But feeling this power, feeling this strength, because Mars is here very close to Saturn and very close to Venus. Now, Venus and Mars have been walking together hand in hand, and it really is this initiatory energy of that connection, the way you relate, the way you see the masculine and the feminine in your hopes and dreams in your life. They have finally Venus, because Venus sits on this side of the earth and Mars sits over here, so they travel at different rates. And they represent the yin and the yang, the masculine and feminine, the giving and the receiving is the easiest way, the reflective, the nurturing, the relationship with your inner world, and then how you take that out into the world. That's Mars and Venus. And so because we're looking at Mars, we're going to look at the relationship of Mars in this chart as well, and how they relate back to the sun and the moon. Saturn sits in between, right? So does Juno, and Juno is conjunct within 49 minutes of Saturn, which is really big. We're going to make a commitment on some level to what we want to be married to into our future. Okay, that connection. What are we going to care for and really give structure to and choose responsibly to do that work for our future, for ourselves, in the immediate environment? Because in this chart, it's in that place of like, how are you going to articulate to those who sit beside you what it is that you're giving new energy to from this place of healing, and how you can be more of a witness to a new empowered storyline. Isn't this beautiful? I'm not making this up. It's all here. Okay, so you might be wondering what all these lines are, right? These lines just show that we have this energy, and it's, again, might be confusing because the sun and the moon are talking a lot to Vesta. And it's just like, it's how you can help this energy move. Sextiles and trines are when you have a challenge, which actually new beginnings are challenging, right? New starts, fresh energy is challenging. So we want to sit with it. We want to go into the sacred spark of our heart and allow that energy to come forward. Allow that energy to be tended to, right? So think of also your immediate environment and how you're caring for that energy, the storyline internally, how you want to empower that, what part of your sacred spark has gone through immense or radical, in my opinion, in my case, healing and transformation. What is it that you need to release and let go of? And what can you welcome in? What can you invite in? Because it is a new start and it is a new beginning. You'll know, just so you know, the day after this, the sun and the moon will move and be conjunct Chiron. So you can know in these today and tomorrow, or the new moon and the next day, there's really this amplification of the healing you've showed up for. And you might be continuing to heal because we're healing our entire journey, we're evolving. So honor that, honor that. And because we have this energy in that, for those of us in Louisville, Kentucky, and it won't change that much in the surrounding area, because it sits in the 5th house, it is the depth of our sacred spark, right? So it's very brilliant that Vesta is here to listen inward, inner agency and authority, to choose for those hopes and dreams, choose and take responsibility for this restructuring. And here's the other part. Saturn sits at the midpoint, okay? It's 3 degrees. So 19 to 22 is 3 degrees. 22 to 25 is 3 degrees. Saturn is the midpoint between this relationship of our inner and outer worlds, our desires and how we're going to go after them. So we pause. We invite in the wisdom. And we take responsibility for it. This is our legacy. We choose for our future self and future generations. And we choose to take action in our immediate place with the awareness of the bigger picture, okay? And so you get into the sacred spark and you get into that energy. You might be wondering what this is. This is Pluto. Pluto is in Capricorn. And it's a good distance away, but Pluto is just kind of like, y'all, guess what? I am alive and strong come the full moon in Libra. So transformation is going to be what, if I don't have the chart for you, but when we get to the Libra and Aries opposition, that Libra full moon on April 16th, it is at 27 degrees. So that means the sun and the moon, which will be over here. Okay. Oh, interesting. It'll be near where the midheaven is for this chart. What's going to be remembered is the relationship and how you're doing that energy justice and that personal power. It means we're going to feel stuck. It means we're going to feel slowed down. So because I've shared with you that this moon is about moving forward and initiating new beginnings, there's more work to be done. And honestly, the Taurus new moon that will happen, which really matters, is really where we need to do this live, is going to be a lot. Okay, so back to Aries energy. It is all about feeling good, having the confidence to do what you want. There's something I want to share with you. Days after this new moon, we have these two guys, Jupiter and Neptune, who are going to be conjunct in Pisces. If you didn't listen to my energetic signature, I highly, highly, highly recommend going to tune into that, because you're going to get some more details out of all of this. Because the moon guides us through the month of April, and you want to know the energetic signature to help you move through, okay? It's multi-layered. There's so much going on in the skies, and it's just wonderful when you tap into it. Jupiter is the benevolence. Neptune is our higher self. They are kind of here to whatever it is you're wanting to initiate, the confidence and the courage you have to awaken to your true self, your beautiful and brilliant being. And in that healing, what needs to release and what needs to dissolve is being held by the beneficence of Jupiter and Neptune. Jupiter is the biggest planet in our sky. For those of us in Louisville, the rising energy is Sagittarius. It's ruled by Jupiter. So it's that reminder of the benevolence that's available to us, that we're awakening to. Now, let's say you're in California and you're tuning into this, because I have a lovely person that I know, and California is good for my soul as well. You're going to have a different rising. Don't get too caught up in that, because all of us are experiencing Jupiter and Neptune. So that's what's really, really important. And Jupiter, Neptune, and Pisces. Pisces is our soul. Pisces is that energy that we're evolving and moving through and awakening to. Okay. And so what do you really need to release and trust that's healing to initiate this new start, right? I don't want to get personal, but it's just important that you understand this. So we have this stellium in Aquarius. There's a lot of energy. We have Vesta, Mars, Saturn, Juno, Venus, all in Aquarius. And then we have this stellium in Aries. It's when we have more than 3 planets. We have Mercury, the moon, the sun. Chiron in Athena, the asteroids. Chiron is, I'm forgetting what it's called. It's actually all the asteroids, the goddesses sit between Mars and Jupiter, if you know your planetary alignment. And then Chiron sits on the other side of Saturn. So it's, I can't remember what it's called, but it has this energy. So there's a part of you that needs to dissolve, that needs to go, that needs to be released. And there's also, though, a part of you you need to claim and awaken. That is the energy of this moon. Okay. I want to go and guide you. The moon will travel. Okay. If you want this worksheet, let me know. The moon will travel. It'll go through the month, through each house, and it carries the messages. Okay, when it gets into Libra, it's going to be over here, and it's going to be opposite the sun. Okay, so that's in that opposition. The moon is as far away from the sun as it can get, and that's what makes the full moon. And that's when I will give you more information. And in that energy, then it will continue to travel, and it will travel, and it will pass all of these planets for closure. And then it will be new and join the sun here in Taurus. The chart will look completely different. So realize the moon is going out and pioneering a new path. It's going to be away from all these planets and have aspects to it that are actually of closure. And then as it closes, it will have conjunctions to all of this energy. They'll be in different positions. And it will carry this information forward. And that's when we're going to plant new seeds at the end of the month. Okay. All right. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to share the soul scopes. Woohoo. I've always written them. And when I wrote them the last time, it just was too much and took too long. Okay. Where are you, soul scopes? Okay, so remember, part of this is you need to see things differently. We want to, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, okay? Okay. Part of what we want to understand is realize that don't take it personally. Even though there's a part of you that needs to go, I want you to also understand that there's more than that. There's so much more energy for you, okay? So Aries, really you want to, no, look, I don't have it colored. Okay. You want to know what's rising in your chart, right? And when you can know what is rising in your chart, this is how I write, yikes, all kinds of things. Gravity is telling me to let it go. Okay, it's not colorful, so I'm sorry. But you want to look at what is rising in your chart. And so when you know what is rising in your chart, then you'll know more energy, because the chart can move, right? It can move, it can move, it can move. And your rising sign is how any horoscope is written. You can also read your sun and your moon, okay? But so most of us know our sun sign, because unless you've done a reading with me, you haven't received those sacred 3. Aries. If you're Aries sun, an Aries moon, or an Aries rising, this pertains to you, right? We're all experiencing the Aries new moon, but let's go for it, okay? Aries, you want to look at all that has healed. Be mindful of the change and integrate softly and slowly. The soft and slow is really, really important right now. That's at Saturn. And especially because Mars is going to conjunct Saturn in a couple days, it's going to be like you have it all, you understand it, you're going, boop, park it, okay? Park it. Because when that, okay, I don't want to get too technical. When you can let go of control, expectations, and welcome this reprogramming, it's essential that you're inviting a new version of life. That does not mean it's crystal clear, because we're still releasing and we're still letting go. Aries, this is about you and your sense of self. Big time. Okay, Taurus, for Taurus sun, moon, or rising, the moon is really lighting up your 12th house. And so because of this, it's this deeper, you've gone through so much change, right? And you've had to allow for the change. You want to care for yourself because your body needs that renewal, your physical being. And your body is what carries the talents into this world, right? Your body, I just hit the wall, so Lulu's gonna bark. So care for yourself, as the body requires renewal, rest, and reconnecting to this upgrade that we're all going through, everybody's in. This is your soul's call for renewal and trusting this invitation. You want to trust and be, honor and allow. And because, Taurus, you've gone through so much, the eclipse that's happening on April 30th is probably big for you, especially if you're around, oh, my notes are here, 10 degrees Taurus, right? It'll be very close to that Uranus, which is that jolt of your life. Anyhow, moving forward, Gemini, this is about letting those around you support you, right? Even allow your hopes and dreams to support you. Maybe you've had to let go of a dream that you thought, and that you've done a lot of work in healing what you thought your future would look like, and it doesn't look like that right now, said the Gemini. But the magic you're looking for resides in the reprogramming and welcoming in a new flow to life, right? Inviting in this, a new journey, a new adventure, maybe even healing the journey that you thought, like that letting go of the beliefs and the ideas that you've carried so far, and welcoming in this new understanding of yourself, okay? Trust in your energy rather than forcing and exhausting the system. Connect with your future and listen to her needs. If you do not know how to connect with your future self, it's a beautiful practice and it can really help carry you forward. Cancer, sun, moon, or rising in Cancer. Okay, this is a very transformative moon for you. So you've gone through a lot of transformation. The world is opening up to being more compassionate and listening. So you want to look at what energies continue to be flushed out, especially your sense of self. How is your way you're nurturing yourself, making yourself a priority after always being the one who cares for so many? And the legacy you're initiating, right? Cancer, this is really about how Cancer, sun, moon, or rising. This is about how do you want to claim this new understanding of a new life, a new way of being, a new articulation of what your legacy is going to be, right? Some people like to say job. So maybe say your work is different than what everybody else is doing. All right. And finally, I'm trying to do this quickly, but I feel like it's taking me forever. Okay. After, once you initiate this sort of legacy, you want to continue to release and honor the reprogramming and surrender to the journey. It is just really important. This Aquarius stellium is in your 8th house. And so that you feel like you're kind of being thrown through the churning waters and you're ready to move forward. And there's going to be a halt and there's going to be a call for you to really look deeper at that transformation and then feel how supported you are in creating this new relationship with this future self. Leo, that bright, shiny Leo energy. Believe in all the changes and I can't read my writing. All the changes, the endings, and the shifts, right? That big energy. Be clear in what you want to call into your life. Like call into those depths, right? Remember, you want to really be in that sacred relationship with the fire, the spark of your heart. And trust in your journey and allow your relationships the space to evolve as well, because that is going to show up bigger for you in the Libra full moon. You might find that you've gone through the change and you're ready for that new beginning to rise up from the ashes. You can see clearly, but those around you may not be as accelerated as you are. So give them the space to evolve. Virgo, this is Virgo, sun, moon, or rising. Allow for the unconditional love of being human. Connect with wisdom of your higher self. Just your higher self is your job on some level, and letting go of that understanding of, let me make sure I have these lined up right. Virgo, that idea of your body and that new relationship with yourself and your inner world. Connect with that wisdom. Be in the service of yourself, your innermost, deepest sense of self. Honor, honor, honor. Your guides are right there beside you. Talk to them, call on them, allow them to hold you, and know that this pause in your work life is for you to really integrate into this new understanding of yourself, that energy that's going to be reflected back to you. Embrace the new opportunity of life. So beautiful. Okay, Libra. Okay, Libra, sun, moon, or rising. Y'all, when I write these and I come back and read them, they hit me hard. I'm a Libra rising, so this one feels like I wrote it for myself. Maybe I did, maybe I wrote it for you. Energetically at capacity, trust that the world holds promise. Something new is coming in. and asking you to ground the reprogramming. Ground it, put it into the earth, into solid soil. Okay. This is that relationship that you're grounding is really, really important. Trust what you feel and go easy on yourself. Give yourself grace, right? Your angels are with you every single day. And that you want to know how much that spark, right? That pause, that kind of rebuilding. As a matter of fact, I'm getting confused with what my guides have told me and what I'm trying to share with you. But my guides the other day told me my soul is under reconstruction. Being renovated, literally, physically and soulfully. And trusting in that renovation. And I immediately went to my house that we renovated, these walls that we painted, right? This beautiful Zhuogen's sculpture of the man with the lotus, blossoming lotus. It's messy and it's dirty and it's stinky when you're under renovation. And it's being renovated at a ground level. Okay. Good to giggle when you are energetically at capacity. Scorpio, what do you need to release? You're good at it. You're good at the transformation and the shifting energy, but now is the time. This is Scorpio sun, moon, or rising, especially Scorpio rising. What you need to release. Let it be held. The angels and guides and that benevolence is deep in your heart. That daily efforting. Continue to open up to more of your gifts, this talent that you're bringing forward. You are capable of expanding into more. Yeah, I know you may not want to be more, but you're capable of it. Build your confidence. Yeah, build confidence in your sacred spark. Care for your heart and welcome this new opportunity that just make your heart space, because this is influencing your 6th house of work, of healing, of just how you take care of your body if you're Scorpio rising. Okay. All right, Sagittarius, the new adventure has arrived. Just okay. What you want to do is to clear out and release. You want to grieve. Sorry, look at my sloppy handwriting. And confession, haven't written the full moon ones yet. Okay, Sagittarius, the new adventure has arrived. You need to and want to, you've got to clear out. You've got to release. You might even find you need to grieve. Okay. And what you thought would be, right? This idea that you had this idea that you maybe were someone or something else. Yeah. And you want to look at the structure that immediately surrounds you. Remember, Sagittarius rising was what the chart was that I shared with you. So this is about that deep, deep inner layer. You got to release and grieve and understand what part of your innermost self has you, like, you've shed that layer. You've, like, if you thought of an artichoke, because at the core of the artichoke is a heart, like that you got to cut off the pokey, prickly things so you can get and enjoy the energy. See, this is why it takes me so long to write, because I have so much to share. Step into your sense of self-worth and trust in your sacred spark. Believe in this evolution. You've got to believe that come home to your future self. And as you come home to it, talk to this new version. Okay. Capricorn, the reprogramming is real. And what an amazing accomplishment to see that this is enough, that just the reprogramming is enough. Maybe you don't have some big thing, you haven't created some beautiful porcelain sculpture, but you've gotten messy with the clay, right? And you're gaining so much wisdom. And so that reprogramming and going through it is real, and that you've accomplished it, and that is enough. Be in touch with your strength of wisdom, beauty, and give it to yourself and reclaim your strength softly. Softness is so important. The masculine, like chivalry, right? When somebody opens the door for you, it makes it easy to walk through, to cross that threshold. So feel that energy as if your guides and angels are asking you to let go. You've done the reprogramming. The door is open, and you have to receive that gesture sweetly, softly, smile internally that you can move forward, right? None of us need to take this personally. We're all moving forward together. Okay, Aquarius, see yourself in a new way. Polish the energy that's been reprogram. Get clear in what's possible. The changes happening are right on time. Right on time. Remember when I shared that chart? There's all that energy in Aquarius. So see yourself differently. See that new version of you in that new way. And as you see yourself in that new way, I want to make sure I'm talking about it. This is what I do. Yeah. That you can see this way that you relate inwardly and you offer outwardly. You guys get to be the leaders of really embodying, embracing. You understand this higher vantage point. You can see both sides from the big, big, big collective picture. Bring it home to you, right? You are your greatest job right now. And when you bring it home to yourself, you're going to feel this energy of letting go of that idea of for you is, I'm totally just stumped myself, right? I went off script, and that's what happens. I get all this information and I want to tell you so much more, because this is actually very, very generalized. And so I'd love, what happens is I get people who I know who have an Aquarius sun, moon, or rising. They start to speak to me. Their guides are speaking to my guides, and it just, okay. You have to have the empowered storyline, Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising, and spend time in empowering and embodying this new storyline. Feel held in that what you need to release around your youth, your inner child, your stories from before. And maybe you even find yourself moving, like you're actually changing directions, right? That maybe you're moving your office into another room. It can be as simple as that, or perhaps you're actually physically moving to another neighborhood, or you're just thinking about it, or it's really the narrative. You can feel the energy of giving spark. You're able to speak this into being because you're finding that way to integrate your inner and outer worlds, and you're embodying it for your sense of self. You're aware of what matters, that any of those values or priorities that have shifted that you have to let go of, know that they're being held in that benevolent energy by your guides and angels, and it's for your soul's greatest good. And so you're going to feel this big energy waking up in the resources that show up for you. Okay, your talents, right? And Pisces. There's a lot of Pisces energy. We've moved out of all that energy. You might be like, whoo, okay, good. But a lot more energy is coming. Be sure you watch the energetic signature. We've been feeling into the depths, and so now we can release, we can feel held, we can realize that we haven't been alone, and don't get caught up in that foolish notion that you are alone. Okay. The energies are strong, and opportunities that are once in a lifetime are here for you. For you. Can you believe that, Pisces? For you. Trust in the beauty, even if it's still blurry. Lighten the load and dissolve to open to the new. Show the people around you how you dissolve to open into the new. And as you dissolve to open into the new, you really get to be in this narrative of your sense of self-worth, right? All that you deserve, all that you prioritize, all that you value. Ignite that light and tend to that sacred flame, because your soul is in this place. You're in this kind of soul process of feeling that new structure and that integration to your core, especially that energy from that last Pisces cycle. Okay, I'm going to share my screen once more and get back to what's fun. Okay, here we go. And as I share the screen once more, see, each time the chart changes, right? And as we change and animate it, so much comes alive, all right? Rewinding just for a moment, we have Saturn squaring the North Node. So I'm just going to reemphasize, since I went through the soul scopes, that it really is time to integrate this new way of being for our future. Okay. The moon will move through each day, and this is kind of where you can feel it illuminating. And it's just kind of the messages go through your chart. This is way more personal, but it also can help you understand what energy you're working for. These are the elements and the energy. So if you work with, pay attention to what I post in Facebook, you'll be able to follow along like, oh, today is fire, and I'm initiating on the 2nd of April, we'll be into the sustaining earth. It really will be this new energy we've sparked, and we're going to feel it settled and ground. So you can do your ritual with the moon, with the new moon, and or I want to look at sorry, I'm giving you lots of information. People charge lots of money for these things, not a lot of money. And so if you want to make a donation, please go to my Venmo at Teresa-Phelps-Martin, and you can make a donation. The closing aspects for this moon, yeah, Saturn, when the moon leaves Aries, the last aspect, yeah, of course, it makes, is that square to Pluto. So this is really about transformation. So do your ritual April 1st. Also, April 3rd is a good day, although you just know that that jolt of what you want to do might be coming. And you could even do it on April 4th. So sorry, there's just April 4th, there's a lot of transits, and the last transit is a square to Venus. So again, embracing that feminine. And as you embrace that feminine, that's just really, I've been saying this for so long, I feel redundant. Heal that masculine part of you, the overworked, overstressed, overproducing, overdoing. And welcome in this new connection to the abundance, to the beauty, to just this shift that we can hold that vision for each of us and all of us. This worksheet is here for you to understand. You want to know which house this moon is really waking up. So that's what the soul scopes do. However, if Aries is in your first house, it's about you. If the Aries new moon is in your second house, it's about your sense of self-worth. If the Aries new moon is in your third house, it's about the narrating. It's the storyline that you're going to embody and tell and start a new story, right? Get curious about new ways of engaging right around you. If the Aries moon is hitting your 4th house, you're going to come to your roots. What do you need to ground? The spark. How are you caring for yourself? What's happening in the private realms? And how can you initiate a new relationship with this innermost self? If Aries, the moon is hitting your 5th house, how are you creating with this sacred spark? What are you bringing? What are the gifts that you're just naturally, unconditionally radiating out into the world? If it's hitting your 6th house, the Aries new moon is in your natal chart in the 6th house. You're going to look at new habits, new ways of doing your work. You're going to also look at your health. And if you need to go to a doctor, you're going to go to a doctor. You're going to not undermine this energy of discomfort. You're going to listen and do the work you need to make those appointments to be cared for. Be in service of yourself. If Aries, the moon is hitting your 7th house, then you're going to look at relationships. You're going to look at how the relationships you have with your inner and your outer self, what's the rapport? Is there coherence? How can you create new coherence and initiate that? What have you healed? And how can you really embody that healing and stand brilliantly and trust in that new journey? If the energy hits your 8th house, this really is, what do you need to release? Like, the fire is there to transform, to burn through, to rise up, to be that phoenix, right? To be that awakening energy and know there's new life before you. And I'm gonna start crying because I'm just thinking about my nephew who had his Aries rules his 8th house. So pausing, getting it together. See, this is what happens to you guys. If I looked at your chart or know your chart, it's this new gift. It's a new gift that I'm going to claim right here, right now, is that I just offer you my guides to speak to your guides, that you can receive this just new energy. Okay. So if Aries is in your 8th house, it's really feeling that sense of vulnerability, but there's beauty in that. That reprogramming is so profound. If it's hitting your 9th house, if Aries is on your 9th house, then you're going to be in this place of new beliefs, like really embodying and embracing and integrating what it is that you've learned from the journey that you've been on, especially in your healing. See how passionate I am? And when it hits your 10th house, you're going to be looking, this is the Cancer rising and the Cancer moon and the Cancer sun. No, this is Cancer rising, no moon and sun. This is Aries is on your 10th house. How are you putting the spark into this new way of being remembered, your legacy, the work that you do that is the evidence of your existence? You're choosing now how to really integrate, to bring it forward, to start anew. You get to start new, okay? And then if Aries is illuminating your 11th house, then this is going to be that vision for the bigger network of things. You might find that tuning into astrology just resonates and you want it and you're claiming it. And also, if the Aries new moon is in your 12th house, okay, you can find this ability to feel your soul coming alive, the courage to awaken so deeply, so fully. Okay, I know that's a lot. Here are the reflections. I've just given you so much. And finally, what I want to give you is these prompts to help you have an intention for this lunar cycle. The intention is about being on your time, knowing yourself intimately, and using kind of all this information I've given you to kind of summarize and look at that energy of how you can do a ritual, right? Remember I said April 1st, the closing aspects are really great to do that energy for that ritual. It is a sextile to Saturn. So it's really helping us move forward this initiatory energy. On the 2nd, when Aries leaves, when the moon leaves Aries, the last aspect it makes is a hard square to Pluto. And that can be challenging. However, the sun will be conjunct Mercury, so it could be a good time to speak it out and write it out. And on the 3rd, you really kind of want to just be able to have that new intention, have that ritual within that first lunar phase, okay? I have like 500 things I could do with you guys, and I miss teaching so much. So I love to share what I learned. It's in my chart. It's in my wheelhouse, if you will. Okay, so just know that when that moon is in Taurus too, there's going to be this energy that can be a hard energy, but if you can do your ritual in those first few days of the moon, that's great. If you can't, it's okay. You have agency. You can say that I'm claiming it. This is the time to do it. What I'm offering for you is just a way to synchronize more fully so you don't have to rely on your own strength. Okay? So for each of us and all of us, we want to reflect on what matters right now in your life. Above all else, what are your highest priorities, right? We've been peeling back. Get to that sacred spark. What really matters? What is coming alive in you that you want to see come forward? Speak them, write them, put fuel behind your words. What ways can you create an empowered storyline based on where you have been and what you have healed and moved through? I don't want to get personal, and it's hard not to. I like to be transparent. I know everybody's moved through stuff. It was one thing that I have said repeatedly for the past 2 years. Everybody has something really intense going on in their life right now. I don't know anybody who doesn't. Now, on that intensity, it's relative to the resources you have. Be aware of that, but we're at an inner being intensity. Everybody's soul is being renovated. It's just we're all feeling it and manifesting it in different ways. Really important, this moon, which is hard when you hear Aries energy. It's a go-getter. It's a just do it. It's a make it happen. What ways can you accept a slower pace? Right? That's the healing of the masculine. It's just like go, do, busy. Woo! How can you adjust to that slower pace? How will you remind yourself to be patient and accept the pauses or hurdles of life? Yeah, how can you remind yourself? What are you going to do on a daily basis? If we're initiating something, we have to create new habits and new forms, especially if we want to integrate it. So what's something you can do? Call a friend, hands to your heart, breathe, shower every day. Go back to your priorities. What matters most? What are you wanting to shift, and how can you truly embrace that which you are welcoming into life? You know it's got to shift. Go back to what matters most and your priorities. And how can that be the boundaries for the energy that you're shifting? That's how you can embrace it through those boundaries, through those new patterns. And I feel like I missed something, but anyways, and welcome in. How can you just maybe every day you exhale and you breathe out, you release all the things that are negative and limiting, and you claim that they are gone. And each day you receive that renewal. It's yours. Be full, be healed. And moving forward, what ways can you commit to courageously awaken to your true self? Right? To courageously awaken to your true self. So, oops, stop my share. And this is brought to you from love. We're all awakening. I'm claiming my new role. I can do this. I can't do yoga. If I can't do yoga, I can't teach yoga. And that's part of what I'm releasing and part of what I'm healing, but I love to share. And for the past 2 years, I have been in the deep, dark waters of understanding a new tool to bring forth awareness and the transformation and the growth so you can be real, be true, and be soulfully you. If you find this valuable, I'm receiving and accepting donations at Venmo or Venmo at Teresa-Phelps-Martin. If you're a PayPal person, you can go to my email address, which is teresa.phelps.martin@gmail.com, and just do it as a friend, right? And yeah, that generosity is sustaining me. If you've watched this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, comment. If you're watching this, I don't know if it's going to make it to the Facebook group. I don't know if I have that capacity to upload a video like this without it being live. The link will be there. How about that? And please like, comment, message me, reach out to me. You can email me, you can message me on Instagram, Soulfully You. You can message me on Facebook. And we all get to start anew. We are all starting anew together. And as we start anew together, what you want to do, oh, I almost left this part out. See, next time it's going to get better. I had to do this one time. I just had to do it. That's the Gemini in me. And it's the Aries moon. And it's hitting my 6th house. Pretty sure it's my 6th house. So anyhow, with all that being said, and this very long offering, that you can be aware of your head. Kapalabhati breath is beautiful. That's the breathing that I would encourage, the cleansing of the mental nonsense that can keep us stuck, the cleansing of the ego being a more powerful voice than your soul, which it is, and that ability to see more clearly so you can really look at those prompts that I offered you and make them happen. Make them happen. And from that space, may you move with the divine spark that is in your heart. May this new moon help each of us recognize the healing journey we've been in individually and collectively. May we feel held by the benevolence as we release and grieve and allow what is no longer ours and necessary for us to fall away with ease rather than strife. May we all feel the energy of creating a new infrastructure within ourselves that supports our future, that supports our visions and supports our dreams. May we all recognize and ignite the sacred spark within us and tend to the flame of our own truth. While we've all individuated, we are all our individual selves. We are also part of something so much bigger. Perhaps you can even open up to co-creating with a greater energy and feel supported. If you want anything from me, reach out. If you want to schedule a reading to know your chart more fully, please visit my website at www.teresa-phelps-martin.com. Schedule a soul session. And if you want a discount, The regularly $108, if you would like it for $88, you have to communicate with me and I'll give you a private link to set that up and schedule it. May you be well, may you be well, may you be well. Let there be peace. From me to you, my heart to yours. May you be real, may you be true, may you be soulfully you. And thank you for your time and attendance and love.